Hello everybody. We're going to be working on lesson 2, which is ratios. Alright, so we're still on RP 1.1. That is to understand the concept of a ratio and use ratio language to describe a ratio relationship between two quantities. Our learning target today is to understand the concept of a ratio, which we'll be getting more into today after lesson 1, and to use ratio language to describe a relationship between two quantities. Okay, so remember that you'd continue to learn that precise language with notation of ratios. So for example, if the ratio was 2 to 3, that could be written, that could be written as 2 to 3, or you could spell out 2 to 3. All right, remember they cannot both be 0. It's an ordered pair which are not both 0. All right, and so today you're going to create multiple ratios from a context in which more than two quantities are given. All right, so this is going to be, you'll be given some real world contextual situations that you're going to match your given ratio. So go ahead and look at exercise 1. Let me erase this. All right, so exercise 1 says come up with 2 examples of ratio relationships that are interesting to you. So for my first one, I could say my sister watches twice as much television as I do. The ratio of number of hours she watches in a day to the number of hours I watch in a day is usually 2 to 1 or 2 to 1. So I'd write out that sentence. All right, another one I could say is for every 2 chores my mom gives my sister, she gives me 3. She gives 3 to me. The ratio for that would be 2 to 3. All right, so think of your own examples. I'm going to give you guys about a minute. Write down 2 examples of a ratio relationship that are interesting to you. And Ms. Hunter, if you'd like to pause the video at this time, let them think of 2 examples and go over a few of the examples in classroom, you could pause it at this time. Okay, let's look at the exploratory challenge. It says a t-shirt manufacturing company surveyed teenage girls on their favorite t-shirt color to guide the company's decision about how many of each colored t-shirt they should design and manufacture. The results of the survey are shown here. It says favorite t-shirt colors of teenage girls surveyed. You have red, blue, green, white, and orange, and yellow. All right, so let's look at number 1. It says describe a ratio relationship in the context of this survey for which the ratio would be 3 to 5. So take a second, look at each one of them, and where could you find the ratio relationship for the ratio 3 to 5? I'm giving you guys a couple seconds to look over it real quick. Okay, so for the ratio of 3 to 5, if you look for the girls who answered their favorite was orange, that's 3. And the ones who said pink, there was 5. So the ratio of the number of girls who answered orange to the number of girls who answered pink is 3 to 5. All right, look at number 2. It says for each ratio relationship given, fill in the ratio it is describing. So it's a description of the ratio relationship. Underline or highlight the words or phrases that indicate the description is a ratio. Okay, so let's look at number 1. So this is giving good context clues here. So it says for every 7 white t-shirts they manufacture, they should manufacture 4 yellow t-shirts. The ratio of number of white t-shirts to the number of yellow t-shirts should be, okay, so what words in that sentence is telling us that it is a ratio. So you should have your pencils or your highlighter. You can either highlight these words or underline them, because I'm going to go through with you guys to help you know that it is a ratio. All right, the first one, for every, that's telling me right there we're talking about there's a ratio relationship. So this is getting into the ratio language. So underline for every. All right, so then it says the ratio of the number of white t-shirts to, that word to, T-O, that is also ratio relationship. That's telling me that it's comparing the white t-shirts to the yellow t-shirts. So you should have for every underlined and the word to, T-O, underlined as well. Okay, and so it says for every 7 white t-shirts they manufacture, they should manufacture 4 yellow t-shirts. The ratio of the number of white t-shirts to the number of yellow t-shirts should be, that would be, it asks for white first, 7:4. So if it said for every 7 white t-shirts they manufacture, they should manufacture 4 yellow t-shirts. But then they said the ratio of the number of yellow t-shirts to the number of white t-shirts should be, that wouldn't be 7:4. Because remember, you have to put in exact how they asked for. So that one would be 4:7. So they asked for the yellow first, you would write in 4 instead of 7. If it asked for the yellow first, you wouldn't write 7:4, you'd write 4:7. All right, so look at the next one. And you'll see what I'm talking about here with the order. It says for every 4 yellow t-shirts they manufacture, they should manufacture 7 white t-shirts. The ratio number of yellow t-shirts to the number of white t-shirts should be. So first, let's think of the words that we should underline that indicates the description is a ratio. So the first one is going to be for every. Again, so we have for every, so underline or highlight for every. And then on that second part of the second sentence, you'll see yellow t-shirts to the number of white t-shirts, underline to, T-O. That should also be underlined. So that's telling me this description is a ratio. All right, and that one starts with the yellow t-shirts. It gives you 4, and it wants to know the ratio of yellow to white, so that one would be 4:7. All right, so I want you guys to look at the next one. Give me just a second. All right, so let's read the third one together. It says the ratio of the number of girls who like the white t-shirt best to the number of girls who like the colored t-shirt best was, and our description that indicates a ratio would be 2. So it says the ratio of the number of girls who like the white t-shirt best, and then it has 2, underline that 2, T-O. All right, and it says the ratio of number of girls who liked a white t-shirt to the number of girls who liked a colored t-shirt. So I want you to go up here, let's look at our chart. How many of these girls liked a white t-shirt? I want you to count it. Let me give you guys a second. That's going to be your first number, is the ones who liked a white t-shirt. So look back up at the chart. All right, so you should have got 7 for that one. So when it says color, you're going to want to count how many is on the rest for the red, blue, green, pink, orange, yellow, how many in all there. For colored, it didn't specify what color, so you want to count all the rest except for the white. All right, so you should have had 19 for that one. So you should have 7 to 19 for that ratio. All right, so let's look at the next one, because I want to make sure you at least get your words or phrases that indicate the description as a ratio, and then I'm going to let you go back through and write the actual ratio. So for the next one, it says for each, that word needs to be underlined. Go ahead and underline for each. It says for each red t-shirt they manufacture, they should manufacture 4 blue t-shirts. The ratio of number of red t-shirts to, underline that word to, the number of blue t-shirts should be, and go ahead and you're going to fill that out. Afterwards, I'm going to let Ms. Hunter pause the video while you guys fill in the ratio part. I'm helping you guys get that, underline the phrases that indicate the description of a ratio. All right, so let's look at the next one. It says they should purchase 4 bolts of yellow fabric for every, and we've already underlined for every before, so go ahead and underline that one now, for every 3 bottles or bolts of orange fabric. The ratio and number of bolts of yellow fabric to, there's 2 again, underline the TO. Each one has the word to the number of bolts of orange fabric should be. And again, you'll go back to the ratio part, we're just underlining. All right, the next one says the ratio of the number of girls who chose blue or green as their favorite to, underline that to, the number of girls who chose pink or red as their favorite was. And the last one says 3 out of every. Out of every is another word that indicates, or phrase that indicates the description as a ratio. So underline out of every 26 t-shirts they manufacture should be orange. The ratio number of orange t-shirts to the total number of t-shirts should be. All right, Ms. Hunter, could you pause the video now? And I want them to go ahead and fill in the ratios. Read this. Use the chart given to fill in the answers. And then you can play the video again and I will go over them. All right, so we stopped at the ratio 7 and 19. So let's look at for every red. In the middle, it says for every red t-shirt they manufacture, they should manufacture 4 blue t-shirts. The ratio number of red t-shirts to the number of blue t-shirts. So for every red, so 1 red, for every red, they should manufacture 4 blue, 1 to 4. So for the ratio for that one, you should have 1 to 4. All right, the next one said they should purchase 4 bolts of yellow fabric for every 3 bolts of orange fabric. The ratio number of bolts of yellow fabric to the number of bolts of orange fabric should be, so it says for every 4 bolts of yellow, there was 3 bolts of orange, and it says the ratio of the number of bolts of yellow to the number of orange, that's yellow to orange, was just 4 to 3. All right, the next one says the ratio number of girls who chose blue or green as their favorite to numbers who chose pink or red as their favorite. All right, so pink or red, and what was it, green, sorry, let me look again. That chose blue or green. So blue was 4, green was 2, so that's 6. And then red plus pink is also 6. Well, 6 to 6 can be simplified because both of them are divisible by 6. So I can divide each side by 6, and that's actually the same as 1 to 1. And they both match up. So let's say, here's the ones for red to blue. And here's the one, or not red to blue, red to pink. Here's the one for blue and green. And you can see it's a correspondence of 1 to 1 because they each match 1. And that's how it simplifies 1 to 1. All right, so, and then the last one says 3 out of every 26 t-shirts they manufacture should be orange. The ratio number of orange t-shirts to the total number of t-shirts. So it says, and wants orange first, and it says 3 out of every, which was our keyword there, out of every 26. And 3 and 26 cannot be simplified, so that is Lewis terms. All right, so let's look at number 3. This one says, for each ratio given, fill in the description of the ratio relationship it could describe using the context of the survey. So you'd go back to that t-shirt survey, and it says description of the ratio relationship. Underline or highlight the words or phrases that indicate your example as a ratio. All right, so the first ratio is 4 to 3. So 4 to 3, I'm gonna go back and look at that survey. All right, so I see 4 chose the favorite color as yellow and 3 chose the favorite color as orange. So I would say they, and please excuse my handwriting, I lost my stylus and trying to use my finger. They should make 4 yellow t-shirts, and you need to be writing this in there, for every, all right, and it wants you to underline those words or phrases that indicate it's an example. So I'm going to underline for every 3 orange t-shirts. The ratio of the number of yellow t-shirts and here comes our big word, 2, and we're going to underline that, 2, the number of orange t-shirts should be, and the ratio is already given there on the side, and it says 4 to 3. And that's all you have to write. So for your description of the ratio relationship, you find something that would go for it. So if you look at the next one, it says 3 to 4. All you need to do is turn this one around, or you could even find something else that had 4. Blue had, I think, let me see. Blue had 4, so you could write blue instead, or you could just flip these words around and could say they should make 3 orange t-shirts for every 4 yellow t-shirts. The ratio, the number of orange t-shirts, the number of yellow t-shirts is 3 to 4, and just switch it around. That one's relatively easy. So let me erase this one, give y'all a second to keep looking at it. You should have this written down, and remember to flip it around for the next one, 3 to 4. And a lot of these you could look up at our other charts and just write kind of what's in there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and erase this. So let's look at the ratio given that says 19 to 7. Alright, so in our other chart you should see there was 19 colored t-shirts and 7 white, that chose white. So for that one you can see for every 19 colored t-shirts there should be 7 white t-shirts. The ratio of the number of colored t-shirts to the number of white t-shirts should be, and you already have 19 to 7. And remember, you underline for every and 2. All right, the next one says 7 to 26. We know there's 26 in all, and we know there's 7 that's white out of the last one, so you could say 7 out of 26 t-shirts should be right. Out of would be a key word there for ratio relationship. And the ratio of the number of white t-shirts to, another underlined word, the number of total t-shirts should be, and you have your 7 to 26. All right, so go ahead and look at that lesson summary. It says ratios can be written in 2 ways. Remember, it can be written as A to B, and that'd be any 2 numbers that are not both 0, or A to B. All right, we describe ratio relationships with words such as to, for each, for every. Again, we've been through a lot of these words in our ratio relationships. All right, the ratio A to B is not the same as B to A unless A is equal to B. All right, remember that whatever you put first, that matters. Order matters. All right, let me erase this. Go ahead to the practice, the problem set. So you guys are going to work in your groups or your partners, and I'm going to just go over number 1. It says using the floor tiles design shown below, create 4 different ratios related to the image. Describe the ratio relationship and write the ratio in the form A to B or the form A to B. All right, so there are many different ones that you can write. Just like there's, I'm sorry.
Teachers, at this time, we are releasing parent pickup. At this time, parent pickup students can be released. And also, we are releasing just the following buses. 1103, Ms. Hawkins, and 2809, Ms.
I'm sorry, guys. All right, so one of the ones you could use on that tile, you want to use 4 different ones. I could use how many for every 16 tiles. So there's 16 tiles in all. For 16 tiles, there are 4 white tiles, and that'd be 16 to 4, which also could be simplified 4 to 1, because both of them are divisible by 4. You could also put for every 16 tiles, there are 2 black tiles. The ratio of tiles to black tiles is 16 to 2, which can be simplified 8 to 1 because they're both divisible by 2. So you're going to think of 2 other ratios you can use for that, and then you're going to try to do the other problem set. Really easy. Miss Hunter will go over that with you. All right.